Welcome to another Marketing RV with Rinaldi and Volpe. That's your cue.
What am I supposed to do there?
Talk.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to our show that wraps around in a recreational vehicle.
Not really.
Not really? All right.
Do we need to explain that a few times?
I was thinking we do, actually, so go for it.
So the RV is a recreational vehicle, but it's really for Rinaldi and Volpe.
Oh.
And we thought, we'll play off the whole RV thing because it's a vehicle and we are your vehicle for marketing. And the vehicle we chose is luxurious. It's large. It's all encompassing. It can do many things. And that's kind of how your marketing should be. And we really didn't put much thought into it. I'm kind of just...
All right, let me try this. Marketing RV. Taking your marketing where it needs to go in comfort and style. How's that sound? That was my radio voice. Is it awful?
No, it's not awful. But, I see you in, like, WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're supposed to be. Yeah. Well, are you saying that because I'm bald?
Well, you said that. I wasn't even thinking
All right,
that,
I was just checking. Okay.
I mean, I know you're not
And
Lonnie
by the way,
Anderson, but...
I don't care. No, well, I'm certainly not Lonnie Anderson. But I still get that. My daughter says to me, Daddy, you don't have any hair, right? And I'm like, oh,
I don't.
Where did it go? I tell you about that the other day. I got an instant message from somebody on Facebook, on Instagram that followed me. Mm-hmm. And they said, let us know if you have any questions about your hair care. Or no, about your hair. Any questions about hair. And I responded and took a picture, and I said, yeah, why don't I have any? Like, if you can answer that one, I'm buying your product.
So funny. Well, was their product like to restore hair?
I don't know what it was because you know why? They didn't get back to me.
Of course.
So I ignored them. I unfollowed them and I ignored them. They can get the hell out of here.
They said, we got a real jokester here. We're not doing
That's right.
it. That's funny. What is your name? Nicole. Oh, Nicole. That's the iPhone that came up on my...
Oh, Nicole's iPhone is what you're airdropping
my
to.
airdropping, yeah.
You might have some goofy files that you end up... So Nicole is our server.
Yeah,
right?
at Pika's.
Is our wonderful waitress / bartender. Oh, speaking of which, here comes my mozzarella sticks.
Jean's eating healthy tonight.
That's brilliant.
That is really cool. Thank you.
Good stuff.
She's great.
I love that we recorded right through that.
Why not? Oh my gosh, it's so... Wait, I got to take a picture of these before you dig in.
Do it.
That way people will...
I told you in our thing today, that's the only reason why I come.
Do you want to put your mug in here too?
No, don't worry about me. You need my triceps in there? You can get my triceps in there if you want.
Oh my God, go ahead, flex them muscle.
No, I'm kidding.
Gotta take them. They look really good. I did.
They do look good. They smell good. They're going to be hot as all hell. And you're going to hear me eating them on air.
Don't burn the roof of your mouth because you got to get through this podcast.
All right, fair enough.
Hey, I have some fun. Well, it's not exactly breaking news by the time this podcast gets out there. I found this from the BBC, and I thought it was so funny because Jean's a social media guru. Let's just put it out there, okay? This is, our whole marketing thing is kind of that whole marriage of traditional and new media. I would be the traditional. He would be the new media. And, we both dabble in the other. That doesn't sound good.
It didn't. And I was going to actually, Harry, I'm going to make it sound worse. I like to call it new media and old media. Obviously, you're the old media.
Stop it.
Well, I didn't listen.
Stop it.
All right, sorry.
New and traditional media. When I do my marketing talks, I talk about that all the time and the need to marry the two of them for the full effect of your marketing. Of course, like last time you were talking about how you have to know your audience and how they want to receive your media and then, of course, speak to them in the, through the channels they prefer. However, where was I going with this? Oh, man, I just pulled a Jean.
You threw yourself way off track with your off-color sexual innuendos or whatever they were.
As soon as I said it, I said, oh, my God, he's going to go down that route.
No, and I'm letting you get off on this one. Don't worry about it.
Oh, man. But okay, so I was talking about this thing that I found, which I thought was kind of cool, from BBC. So apparently, 16 social media influencers. Now, I didn't know one of these names. That doesn't mean a thing because I really do not stay on top of pop culture.
I'm actually interested to hear the names, but
I don't have the names in front of me.
Oh, you don't have one?
Oh, actually, I could pull the article up.
Maybe we do that while we're talking, but don't let that steer you down.
I won't. So here's the thing. 16 social media influencers agreed to disclose whether they've been paid or received gifts for the products that they're endorsing on social media. Now, this is in the UK. This was because there was a warning letter that went out to a bunch of stars or starlets or whatever from this group called Competition and Markets Authority. The Competition and Markets Authority. It's a UK group. It's one of the government
watchdogs or something like that.
Yeah, like a department in the government. It's just whatever. And I thought it was interesting because here's the deal. Like, so social media is supposed to be, hey, free and easy. You do what you want. Use at your own risk. Buyer beware kind of thing. You can't take everything as Bible that you hear anywhere, but especially on the internet, correct? Well,
yeah.
TV anywhere, but let's not go down that path because we
went to a news media.
I'll get on my soapbox about fake news, which it is. But anyway, so I had to throw that in there, didn't I? Just lost a lot of followers, but I probably gained a few too. So here's the deal: these artists or socialites or actors and models and whatever, they apparently were saying that they endorse products and whatnot. Don't you as the average viewer say, hey, well, and her name wasn't on here, I'm just going to, first one that came to my head, Jennifer Aniston. If she's saying she's wearing Chanel No. 5,
hell yeah,
I'm pretty much guessing she's got it for free or somebody's paying her, because you don't just do that when you reach that level. You can get paid. Like Gene and I can talk about Pika's and all we want, and praying that we'll get free nibble of something.
Mozzarella sticks I'm eating right now.
But when you get to be that name and you say something, just kind of where we're hoping to go, you can assume that they're getting paid. So why do we have to have this government group kind of force them to say that? So every time they post about, oh, I love my new Jaguar, or however the heck we're saying it this week, they got to say, by the way, this was paid for. I endorse this, or I'm being paid by Rolls-Royce to endorse their car.
Well, I don't know. So you see me looking around, right? You probably think I'm not paying attention.
No, you're thinking about it.
I am. And I'm trying to think of an example where it would be important, but I guess from a voyeur's perspective, I sort of want to know, am I following Jennifer Aniston? And Jennifer Aniston might not be a great example because she's...
No, these were all UK people.
Yeah, but let's say it's somebody that I subscribe to, like Joe Rogan. I listen to his podcast, right? And he's selling services. And when you listen to his podcast, I know he's selling services for companies that are backing them. So they're paying him money to advertise. Mm-hmm. But... is he using? So he's also a jiu-jitsu guy, and he does UFC. So when he's in the UFC ring, is he using the specific gloves from a company because he feels they're the best, or because they're paying him? So, like, from a safety perspective, as a fighter, if I'm a jiu-jitsu guy, and I'm making this up as we go. Like, you have to understand this is completely made up as I'm thinking about it.
I understand.
But if I'm a fighter, I sort of at that point. When it's on his podcast, I know he's using it because he's got these wallets and stuff, all these crazy things he promotes. I know they're paying him to get that out in front of millions of people because he's got listeners. But when he talks about his UFC career, is he using a specific headgear in practicing because it's safer or because somebody paid him? And so as a fighter, there's a differentiator there that I might want to know. Well, I just completely picked that out of the... like...
Okay, so there's two things there. First of all, if you are so big and you're getting paid to endorse something, you would hope that you had the integrity to at least endorse something that you know is good. You wouldn't want to attach your name to something that's going to be faulty,
well, that's just
right?
true. I'm listening. I'll attach my name to anything for $1.5 million.
Really? Would you?
I don't know.
No, I don't think.
No,
you would.
I don't know.
I don't think you would.
It's but you're also.
But my
I have
point
scruples
is,
though.
Do they have to? Right. Well, you would hope that some people do. Not everybody does. This is life.
And especially in Hollywood these days. Are you kidding me?
So my point is, should they have to disclose this on social media or not?
I'm just watching the pizza come out. No, it's okay. You can say it on the podcast. It's fine.
I didn't.
The pizza is out. We got the pizza.
Okay.
So now Lorraine's going to go silent.
We're
yeah,
good.
thank you.
I'm not going to go silent. I'm still trying to find this article because I don't have it.
I thought you were going to be jamming pizza in your face.
No, I can't do that while I'm
Should they
talking.
be? So here's the thing. I'm not a rules and regulations guy.
Yeah.
I'm an ask for forgiveness kind of cat. I mean, even with my parents, it was always like, rather than me have to disclose it, I would rather be like, oh, I didn't know you couldn't do that. Like, sorry.
Okay, but
I don't want to know. You know what? I'm a grown-ass man. I can sort of make my own.
So you're saying that if you know that a fighter that you follow is promoting Nike boxing gloves because he's being paid, then you're thinking that they may not be the best. He's just saying that because he's being paid.
Well,
so you would want them to disclose that.
No, I don't think so. I think it's, and you're right, because I think certain companies are going to, like, you think about from a marketing perspective, certain companies are going to want you to promote their gear, making it look like you're using their gear, not that they paid you. Like, from a company's perspective or corporation's perspective, I sort of want you to use my product, right? Mm-hmm. There's an incentive behind it where you're going to use my product if there's $5 million in the back end attached to it, and you might like it. It just might not be the best.
True.
Right? So for me, as an educated consumer, here's what I'm thinking. If Joe Rogan's using the Nike gloves, and I question whether he's using them because he's being paid or because he really likes them, I'm going to start looking at other guys that I admire in the sport.
You're going to be an educated consumer, and you're going to do some research.
Exactly, because the media's out there, the information's out there. So now I might go to my top 5 guys and look at what they're using and go, interesting. 4 of those guys are using X. Mm-hmm. Joe's using Y. And sorry, Joe Rogan, I know you're listening to this, but and I don't mean it with any kind of malice at all, because I listen to a show all the time. I love the guy, but I think I think people, and I'm a victim of this. Like, the information is so readily available there that I don't put the time into each piece that I need to. Like, I can't, you know what skim reading is? Mm-hmm. I'm the king of it.
Yeah.
The king. Like, if I read an article on something, Gene Volpe has gained 13 pounds in this amount of days. I'm just skimming the article to see how many days it was.
Right.
Right? Like, I just...
Okay, but that's you. But so
that's
the
my
ADHD.
But that's... No. I think that's going to be everybody from my age.
Age people in general.
And I was going to say, and younger, too, right?
Well, and older, too. Information overload. Oh, come on. How many times...
It really
you see, you're not in a typical corporate setting.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I send an email, and God forbid it goes into line number 3. People aren't reading it. And they're all ages. So, I always do tricks that, if you read to the end, you
do?
reply this, do that.
So I do this trick.
Goofy
I do this trick when I'm talking to you. I go like this. If you send me something that's more than 5 bullet points and 7 words, I'm out. Like, you can expect, because honestly, here's how my brain works. I'll tell you exactly how it works. If I get an email from somebody, whether it be you or a client or my wife, when I see a ton of text, it immediately evokes an endorphin in my body.
It says, oh my gosh.
Something that says, okay, this is going to take a little bit of time for me to respond to, so I'm going to tuck it away until I can actually sit down
and then you're going to forget
the
about
time.
it.
And then it's gone.
Right.
So I always tell people, like, literally, well, think about how we've progressed from, a good email open rate is 20 to 25%.
Wow.
A text message open rate is 96%.
Wow.
Why?
Because they're quicker.
And think about you in your world. How many emails do you ignore? A lot.
A lot.
How many text messages do you ignore?
None. Except
right?
when I know it's spam. If it comes from a number that I don't
But
recognize.
fair, forget that, right? If I'm sending you messages and they're all in text. Now imagine the day, and this is what Twitter, I think, really stepped out of their space. When so text messages are what, 140 characters? 160 characters? What's a text message?
No, they can be as long as you want.
No, when that happens, they come in separate
that
texts,
happens
right?
on your Android, but not my iPhone.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants. But listen, it used to, even, I don't know if they changed the SMS criteria, but it used to be
SMS, you're right.
Right? SMS, I'm talking text.
Right.
So when a text comes across, if it's more than 140 characters, it goes into a second text message. If I sent you a text message that was an email, and there were 8 text messages in my one message, would you read them?
Get the heck out.
No. So when email converges on text and people start sending their emails in a text, and there's 14 of them, you're going to ignore everything. While there's small snippets of news bites, you'll read them all the time.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And you're right what you started to say about Twitter. I agree. Why did they go to 200 and whatever they are now, 80?
Well, they were in trouble, so they had to make a change, and they thought that was one that might work. They're not dead.
No.
So maybe it did work. I don't know.
Are they still in trouble? I mean, I think it's still pretty
I haven't heard anything in a long time, to be honest with you. I have to look that up for our next episode. But
you want to see if you know any of these stars, these
yes,
celebrities?
Did you find the article?
Social media
Did you find the article?
Yes, I did.
This is great. So let's just clarify the beginning of this. I am 43 years old. I have a feeling that most of these influencers will be in their early 20s. And I
have no idea. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know one of them.
All right, so Over, under, I know 4 of them.
Okay.
What do you think? Over,
there
under?
are 16. I'll say you probably, I'm going to say over 4.
I don't think so. I'm going under.
You're
I'm going to go
going
under.
under?
I'm going to go under.
Okay.
So
you
let's go
win,
ahead.
you pick up the tab. I win, I
That's
pick up
fair
the tab.
enough. That's
no,
fair.
wait. I win, you pick up the tab.
Whatever.
You win.
Whatever. Loser buys. Good. Go.
Okay. Pop star Rita Ora. No?
Nope.
Bam. Actress Michelle Keegan.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Some of it might help if I saw pictures, but I don't know who that is.
There's no pictures here, so I can't even help you
Does
there.
it say what she's in?
No. Just these are bullet
Yeah,
points.
I don't know.
And singer Ellie Goulding.
Yes.
Okay, 1. Ding, 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 ding. Writer and model Alexa Chung.
Nope.
Designer and model Rosie Huntington Whiteley.
I don't know anybody with 3 names. So no.
Video blogger, I guess it's Zoe Sug, who vlogs under the name Zula. Zoella.
I don't know.
No, okay.
I would like for you to repeat that.
All right. From The Only Way is Essex. This is totally a British show.
Okay.
Mario Falcone.
Nope.
All right. Alexandra Binky Felsted
No.
from Made in Chelsea. Again, this is a very British thing. Holly Hagan
Does it say anything about her?
from Geordie Shore.
Nope.
Okay. Model Iskra Lawrence.
No.
Negative. Camila Millie McIntosh from Made in Chelsea.
Another
Reality TV personality Megan McKenna. I got
another 3-namer?
Yeah.
I don't know, 3-namer. God. So far, how many you through right now?
I'm almost down to the. I'm into the 11th or 12th
Yeah,
one.
so far 1.
Megan McKenna.
Nope.
No. Okay. Chloe Sims from The Only Way is Essex.
What is it called?
Chloe Sims.
No, what's the...
Oh, The Only Way is Essex.
No.
Louise Thompson, Made in Chelsea. No.
No.
Fashion video blogger James Chapman, who vlogs as Jim Chapman.
I don't think so.
He's a fashion blogger.
Yeah, but so that sparks a thought process. My girls watch this guy.
Is he
He does
British?
this makeup. I don't know what he is. I don't watch. But he's pretty as hell. He really is.
Okay.
It could be him, but I'm going to say no. So is that 16?
One more.
Okay.
So you're right. You're way under. Fashion blogger Dina Turkia.
No, none of these
Okay,
people.
you knew
They're-
one.
Here's what's weird. They're
Who
all
did you know? You knew
Ellie Goulding. She's a singer. Yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah.
you would know her. Love You Like You Do.
I have
Love
to
You
hear
Like
it.
Me Do. Whatever. Yeah, she's a singer. She's good.
Okay.
And
Well,
I
there you
screwed
go.
that up, I'm sure, but you would know the song.
Okay. Yeah, don't sing it for us, please.
No, don't worry about that. Do not worry about that at all.
Oh my goodness. All right, I need help with my Mac because now Microsoft, Microsoft, I swear, does not play nice with Apple. Every
Yes.
time it wants to update my Microsoft Office constantly, and then it just shuts down anything going on with Apple. It just like
Technical
freezes
difficulties during the podcast.
drives me nuts. But we're still recording the podcast. All right, so that was the news with the. I really don't like these government agencies. You know me. I'm about minimal government, and I think that you don't need government to protect you from yourself. So if you're foolish enough to think that because Tiger Woods is wearing Nike, you've got to go get Nike. That's crazy. Now, if you want to do it because you like Tiger Woods and you like the way he looks, all right, fine. So what? Right? That's an individual's choice.
That's marketing.
It's exactly
No,
right.
that's 100%. No, I'm with you. I'm like, I don't. Politics is for another show, but from a social media perspective, less regulation is better.
I think so.
I don't want people regulating my banking.
They start
well, so
regulating this portion of the internet, it's just going to get crazy,
No, it's going to be bad.
right?
No, it changes everything. It changes my business. It goes down the shitter.
You and everybody else.
Yeah,
And
especially
the
mine.
information that we get, because you just can't trust information. Not saying that you can trust what's on the internet,
Wait,
but at
don't you
least
feel
can.
like that's going down that road now?
It is, but at least you can search a lot. And then there's the argument that Google restricts some of your searching and some of these other providers.
Well, there was proof that during some of the elections
That's
they were
true. That's
messing
true.
around with the algorithms. I mean, the
You know-
problem is we rely so much on information that's controlled by people that don't give a shit about us,
That's true.
right?
Right.
And so if they want to just listen, if tomorrow you search Gene Volpe and they want to post everything comes up that is related to Snoopy, what do you do about it? Like seriously, what can you do about
Yeah,
it? You know,
right.
we're at the mercy of Google, Apple, Verizon.
True.
Like there's probably
Comcast.
5 to 7 companies
Yeah.
that, I mean, just think about it. Think about if Google and Verizon went, you know what, you ingrates, we're done. And they shut everything down.
Yeah.
Just think about
They
that.
could
Where
do
would
that.
you be? You wouldn't. You'd be walking around in circles.
Pretty much.
Think about it. When's the last time you went from point A to point B, knowing actually which street you were driving down?
Oh, I'm pretty stickler like that. Come on,
You
dude.
are?
I did traffic for almost 30 years.
Oh, well, that's
no,
fair.
20 years.
And
I'm
you're
sorry.
1 in a billion. Like, I remember the maps that came out of the glove box.
Right.
If my Google Maps has a hitch in it, I got to sit around at a Wendy's for 17 minutes until it comes back online because I am stuck, man.
Really?
Oh, my God.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
A guy
I
that admits he
can't-
doesn't know directions?
What? No. It's not that I don't know directions. Here's what happens. I don't pay it. So I could drive from point A to point B a
Right.
million times.
Right.
But because of everything I have at my disposal, I don't pay attention to what's going on between point A and point
That's
B.
a problem.
It totally is. And it's not just me.
No, it's
Like,
a lot of people. And I have become that way. in
And
a
at
lot
least
of
I'm safe.
regards.
I'm safe. It's not like I'm texting while I'm driving.
Right.
I'm on my Bluetooth
Right.
or something else, like listening to a podcast, but I have somebody telling me, no, hey, asshole, make her left. Right? Like,
Really? Does your GPS talk like that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, no,
okay.
I turned the volume off. I can't stand that woman's voice.
I was referring to the asshole reference.
Yeah, no, I got it. And I just dismissed it.
Okay.
Okay? I just dismissed it.
I gotcha,
No,
gotcha.
but I think I have it handed to me on a silver platter.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when I was 16 driving, there was no phones. I learned how to get around.
Yeah,
I
because
knew
you
where to
had
go.
Yeah.
And then I turned
so
30.
what about people coming up getting their license now? Totally
stuck,
reliant.
dude. They're
Totally.
stuck.
So
You
what's
don't-
going to happen when we have autonomous cars? You don't know how to drive or park or do. So many people don't know how to
Oh,
park
you
now.
listen, that's another show. Every time we talk about it, I don't know.
I think
You know
it's
what?
scary.
When I tell you something, here's what's scary.
But
I said to
exciting.
I got this flash the other day in the car, and I asked my 10-year-old, "You know what a busy signal is?" And she went, "I don't know what you're talking about, Dad."
Yeah.
And I almost tried to explain it, and thought to myself, if I try to explain this is going to be a 70-hour conversation of me pulling out props
Yeah.
and showing her what it
Yeah,
looks like.
yeah.
I'm like, these kids don't know what a busy signal is.
They don't know how in their worlds, if somebody doesn't respond immediately, it's an affront to them.
So wait,
it's
tell-
not because they're tied up or busy, right?
So tell me you saw the video about the father that brought his 17-year-old son and his buddy together and unveiled a box, and in the box was a rotary phone. Did
no,
you see this?
No.
Go Google this on
Really?
It's on Facebook. Go on Facebook and search for
Oh,
it.
that's funny.
And he said something, and he's like, if you get this done in 4 minutes, and he gave him the number to dial. And to watch them figure out how the numbers rolled around to the end of it
Oh, that's
was classic.
hysterical.
And that's only for the people that are our age that understand that.
Yeah.
Like my kids would, I think I might try it with my kids in video. It
Oh,
actually,
I've got to do that.
right?
Oh, that
Google it.
is
Say two
hysterical.
teenagers try to hack a rotary phone or
A
something along
rotary
those
phone.
lines, and you'll see it.
So what did they try to do? Just dial out a phone number?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
hysterical.
if
Did
they
they
fi-
have to hook it up to the
Uh-huh.
wall and everything? Because that's something that most
No. It
houses
was
don't-
already hooked up. So
Oh,
if
it
you got a
was.
phone call, I think he was. I didn't watch it all the way through, but I think if they made the phone call through to the cell phone that was next to them,
Oh,
they won the bet.
Hysterical.
Yeah, it was really
and
good.
You didn't watch all the way through.
No,
How could you not watch all
It
the
was
way
like
through?
7 minutes of them trying to screw around with the zero.
They only had 4 minutes to do it.
It was terrible. It's a great video because of what it represents,
Right.
but I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, they wouldn't know because you had to bring it all the way around to the little hooky thing.
Yep.
Each number, boom,
Yep.
boom, boom. I
Yep.
was so fast with one finger,
Right.
dialing all the radio
Listen,
stations.
think about.
trying
We
to
always
win.
joking. We were joking about last week. Like, think about what your wireless was. You remember what your wireless was? It was the 79-foot telephone cord that you could go hide in another room with.
Oh, absolutely.
Remember?
We stretched the heck out of that.
Dude,
yeah.
do you remember? We would be on phone. We would be on the phone for 4 hours at a time, and everybody would get pissed because the line is busy.
Because the one phone was tied
Only
up by
one line.
somebody
She was
talking
like,
to
"There was
their
no
boyfriend or
answering
girlfriend.
machine. There's no
No.
answering. How did you live?"
Voicemail? No.
You
Remember,
they didn't even know what an answering machine was. It was voicemail.
I remember
Spitting.
my parents, we were all phone hounds. Even my brother was on the phone a lot. So my parents sprung for a second line for the kids.
Nice.
The first line and the second line, we got this Belltel phone. You were still buying the phones from Belltel. And
Sure.
then it had this thing. So in the kitchen where the kitchen phone was, it had a button on the top and a button on the front. And if you needed to answer line 2, you had to pick the button on the top up, press the button on the front of the phone, and answer
Yeah, see,
line
that's before my time. I don't even know that one.
Goofy. I
don't even know that.
This was probably late 70s.
So look, I don't want. We kind of, again, I took you off track like I typically do. I'll just remember the one thing about my father. He would say to me, the phone would ring, and I would sit on the couch, and it would ring because remember, there was no answer machine or voicemail. So if it rang 150 times, it rang 150 times.
Sure.
And he would sit and look at me and go, "It ain't for me.
Right.
I ain't getting it. It ain't for me." So one of our asses had to get up off the couch and go answer the phone because he wasn't getting it. Yeah, those were the days, man.
That was good stuff. All right, so before we wrap this one up, I want to bring up one other thing. This is kind of related to the whole social media landscape. According to, did you ever hear of a organization called BuzzSumo?
Yeah. I can't tell you what they do, but I've heard of them, yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll put a link up. They did some research, and they say the social media landscape is changing for B2B marketing. Okay, now we're talking B2B.
Yep.
They said that LinkedIn is getting a greater share of interactions because of the content engagement, because of the articles.
Okay.
So it's interesting because, we always talk about, we said it earlier, we've said it on previous podcasts, about gearing your marketing toward, using the channels that your target is using, communicating that way.
Right.
But in business to business, LinkedIn, and I love LinkedIn. It's no BS. I get really ticked off when I see people's political and personal stuff on LinkedIn, but people are generally pretty good. And I have a pretty good LinkedIn network, so I do see a lot of really good articles, and I do read them. I pick up a lot of stuff from LinkedIn.
So BuzzSumo, if I remember correctly, is one of these sites that actually allows you to do searches on. It's almost like Google Keyword Planner, and it shows you what's popular in a specific area. So that's just kind of, it's like content analyzation, that type of stuff. It's weird that you're saying that because I think the landscape is actually in the midst of changing again as fast as it changes.
Oh, sure.
And you're right. LinkedIn is more for the business savvy, somebody who's there for a reason. Probably, I shouldn't say this, but probably doesn't have ADHD like I do. So like for me, so think about it. I'm not really a reader. I just don't have the capacity to sit down and read a blog post or an article. Whereas the people that are in LinkedIn do that, right?
I do.
And so you're the polar opposite of me when it comes to that stuff, I feel like.
Sure.
And I could be wrong in certain areas, but I think you're a reader, whereas I'm more like just jam 15 seconds of content in my face as fast as you can and let me get the hell out of Dodge.
But you'll retain it, won't you?
A lot of it I will. Yeah, because that's how I'm built. Like, I'm built that way. So for you, but you'll retain more and you're more analytical. So here's the thing. It's like, see how we prep for this? And you're writing down these you're like, you really have a notepad.
I have a notepad.
I don't know what.
Should I take a picture of my notepad?
You should actually take a picture of your notepad.
Everybody
Let's post
can see
that.
my horrible writing, but the best thing about it is people of a certain age won't be able to read it because it's in cursive.
It's in cursive. It gets it done. But the thing is that your brain operates at a different capacity and level than mine does. Neither's right or wrong. The good part about it is that we complement each other. So like from the technical side, I can whip through a website, these 13 things, launch in the podcast, put it up here. But I needed you to go through and like dictate everything that happened. I don't have the ability to listen to my voice for 17 minutes, so I know what happens 17 minutes and 22 seconds in. But we need the links for SEO. We need the hot links for people that want to jump to a specific spot in the podcast. So it works really well. And I don't even know where the frig that came from.
Well, yeah, but look, let's pull this full circle.
So
if you're marketing to Gene and me, and yes, that is the correct, not Gene and I, because I used it as an object. I got to get that in there. I'm so sick of people saying.
Oh, see, I would have said Gene and I.
No, not in the object.
Well, I would have said Lorraine and I, but
in the subject of the sentence, yes, but not in the object.
I don't know what any of that means, but fair enough.
Yeah, well, that's another.
You smack me next time. That's fine.
I'll tell you, that drives me nuts. I have so many.
There.
Yeah.
There. That's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you tie all this back to the beginning and marketing and targeting your audience, right? So Gene just gave you, like, if you wanted to target the two of us.
Yep.
Gene just told you, Lorraine will read. She'll be a little more analytical. You got to give it to me quick. Gene, right?
Yes.
And it better grab my attention or it's going to be gone, and I'll retain it.
Which, by the way, is why you have to do both.
And this is why we like traditional and new media.
You have to do it all.
Call it old and new, but I will go with traditional.
No, I'm only doing that because I like to tease you.
I know.
But no, you have to do both. You have to hit, like people say, what should I do, Facebook or Instagram? Yes. Should I do LinkedIn or YouTube? Yes. You got to do as many as you can and then find out where your people are watching.
And follow the analytics. Before we close it down, don't forget you want to follow us at marketingrv.com, Google Play, iTunes, The Marketing RV on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. What am I forgetting, Gene? Spotify? Are we on Spotify? Stitcher, and who? And SoundCloud. We're everywhere.
Close it down.
Ciao.